guys, this is Dora Michelle from Makeup or Breakup blog, and today I'm doing my year-end what did I reach for and what did I like as far as a certain makeup products. And in this case, I'm going to be doing what I liked as far as concealers. So this is my concealer edition 2018. Stick around. I am not putting these in any particular order. As I'm picking them up, I'm going to just talk about them, and that's essentially one that I was really excited about when they released was the ColourPop concealer. This is the no filter concealer. Now they renumbered these because they had added more tones and colors to the line. So I was a 15 and now I'm a fair 04. Now I had gotten this and found that coverage was similar to the standard. This is the one that everybody marks their concealers against, and this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I forgot what number this was in because I have two different ones. This is light medium, and this has a dough applicator, which hopefully I'll be able to open it and you can see real quick. See, it's like a really thick dough applicator that you apply under the eyes, and you keep it moving, dab it in and you're done. And the coverage on this is great. It feels creamy, it feels moisturizing. So this I tend to use in the winter because during the summer it just feels too heavy, which is when I go to this one, because this feels, as far as coverage, very similar to this, but this is slightly thinner, but the coverage is still fantastic. I've sometimes have used this as my foundation. I just apply it on my nose, here, and under my eyes, and in this spot and this spot, and this covers my redness just as well as the Shape Tape does. And I just put a powder on it and I'm set. I'm ready to go. So this is much less expensive than this one, which I'll put the pricing here and here. So I would say if you're looking for a dupe, I would say this is as close to a dupe. Again, it's going to be this one, the ColourPop's No Filter Concealer, is going to be a little less thick and of that texture, because it comes off even a little, not just creamy, but a little oily. So you just got to be careful. If you're not into that kind of moisturizing, or you feel that you don't have any dryness there that absolutely needs this, this is like heavy duty stuff. So this is completely up to you if you want to use this. But if I'm going out and it's a night and I know I need something to set and I need it to be beautiful and it's winter and I need, that kind of a little extra moisturizing, then I go with this. One of my favorites before I could afford the Tarte Shape Tape one, because the Tarte Shape Tape is a bit expensive, I say it. Another favorite of mine that I found was also quite similar to the Tarte Shape Tape is the Maybelline Fit Me. And this one I think is in vanilla. No, fair. So, but the dough is the applicator, the dough for the applicator is a little thinner, which is good because it can get into these little areas, which I'm going to do right now. And it'll light up these areas a little bit so it doesn't look so dark. The texture of it is very nice. It feels similar as far as the creaminess to the Tarte Shape Tape, but it's lighter. It doesn't feel as heavy on the skin. I'm going to grab my little sponge and clean that up a bit. The coverage is medium. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. That's the only thing. It's not as full coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape. You see what I mean? And you still see it has like a more natural finish, but it's not a full coverage finish. You see? I mean, it did lighten up in here, you see? Which that's exactly what I need, but I also need extra cover. It didn't cover completely, but it did lighten up the area. I usually try to apply the concealer before I put on the blush and things like that, simply because then it looks too white. You know, it looks too light in there, and I look like I was wearing, like I was out in the sun and I fell asleep and I had goggles on. Okay, so the next one, which is also my favorite, which is also a less inexpensive brand than the Tarte Shape Tape, is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin. And this also feels heavenly on the skin. It doesn't feel as oily. I don't know if you can see that, but it does have, it has some creaminess, but it's not as heavy and it's not as oily. It blends nicely into the skin. It doesn't have an over flowery scent. I don't think any of these do. Let me just double check if the Maybelline does. No, the Maybelline doesn't, not really, no. I don't know if I showed you this. This is the ColourPop. It's kind of flat, which helps in applying, but has sort of a little bit of a paint scent, but not overpowering. Is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in light vanilla. I have like a small one here. This is my travel one, so I tried to use this sparingly, and you see it has kind of a doe foot applicator, but again, it's not as big as the Tarte Shape Tape one. And here I'm applying a little. This is more on the pink side, this vanilla one. So depending on the time of year, I'll use this. Like I'll probably use this in the dead of winter because my skin can turn kind of rosy, but pale, pale, pale. My skin's already getting there, but I haven't had to pull that one out yet. Again, NARS is a bit more on the pricey side, but I don't think it's as expensive as the Tarte Shape Tape, but it's right now. The one surprise that I was told about, that I was recommended by some viewers on my, I think it was on my YouTube as well as on my blog, was the Makeup Revolution's Conceal and Define is under $10. Now the ColourPop is around $10, I believe, $9.99, but Makeup Revolution's is about $6 or $7, which makes it even more viable, attractive option. Now when you open it, even though it's a smaller to me container, it also apes the Tarte big doe foot applicator. Now I will say this has very good coverage, about as good as Tarte's as far as like on the full coverage range. You know, and it is creamy. It does go into the skin. It has a weight to it, but it's not as weighty as the Tarte Shape Tape, if that makes any sense. This is in C1. And I picked this up at Ulta. And as I said, I picked this up because based on reader recommendations. The only problem I have with this is the scent. It smells chemically, like chemicals. It just doesn't smell nice. It doesn't have, you know, because some brands have a flowery scent, or they put the flowery scent to cover up the chemical scent. This has no pretense. This is flat on. It doesn't have a good scent. It smells like contact paper. Do you remember contact paper? Yeah. It smells plasticky. That's the word I'm looking for. It smells like that new plastic smell, like when you unwrap a fresh beach bowl that you're gonna blow air into to use at the beach. That kind of new plasticky smell. If you are allergic to any kind of scent or odor, the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define is not going to be your friend. If you can tolerate or try to get by or get past that plasticky smell, then I would say go for it, because this is the best priced one out of all the ones that I just featured here on this channel and in this video. So that's the only thing. That's the only complaint I have on this. Otherwise, this beats them all, basically. Still won't give up my ColourPop, though. And NARS, because that's one of my first that I ever got when I went high-end before I went to Tarte. They all work well. I have no complaints about these concealers whatsoever. They all work, and they're all within different price ranges. So check them out if you haven't already. And that's my review of concealers that I have used, that I personally have used and liked. Let me know in the comments below what you found that was an actually good concealer that doesn't necessarily cost $50, $60, $80. And I will try to locate this concealer and hopefully do a test and review on my channel to see how it works for me. Now, as you may or may not know, I have combination skin. I have an oily T-zone, and I also tend to have a little bit of bags and discoloration under the eyes. So using a concealer that can take care of not only my skin issues, but also my, evening out my tone is very important to me, as well as it not feeling overly heavy. That's essentially it. This is Dawn Michelle from Makeup or Breakup blog. Thank you so much for joining me on my Concealer Edition 2018, and I hope to see you on my next makeup adventure. Please click the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell when you want to know when the next video of mine will be going live on YouTube. Take care.